Welcome to Telly Talk, where we talk about what's on the telly, and by that, we mean what's on our minds, because we're Telly. I'm Tyler. I don't like bees.
So I like bees. You like honey?
Do you? Oh, I love honey. It's an ongoing bit that I put too much honey in my tea. Do you remember when we were in kindergarten and our playground was infested with bees?
Yes, actually. Oh my god. That just opened up a
Because
fucking core memory. Oh my god. What
because
the
I
fuck?
became a hero. I became a hero that time because there were two playgrounds on our playground. There was the little kid playground and the big kid playground, right? And the big kid one was infested with bees. The
I
taller
didn't
one,
I
like
didn't
the
think it was big kid, little kid. There were just two playgrounds.
I
Both of
thought of
them
it
were
as big kid,
equally
little kid.
fun. No, because they both
Uh,
had their like dangerous features that like little
you are
kids
right.
definitely should not be on.
You are correct. I guess just because it was like taller. There was a
Yeah.
tall one and a short one, and the tall one was infested with bees, and I, for some reason, I don't remember what prompted me to do this, but I wanted to prove that, unlike everyone else on the playground, I was not scared of the bees. So I took a challenge to go up the stairs, walk across it, and go down the slide. And I did it. And I remember this so vividly. The bees were lined on the railings on both sides of me, just like in a straight line, and I was just walking through them like royalty, and they were just staring me down. And then I went down the slide, and I was hailed a hero for braving the bees.
I mean, bees aren't gonna sting you.
They could have,
They most likely wouldn't have.
unless I did something to them.
Yeah.
Just imagine like 6-year-old me walking through these bees, though. It was scary, and I was so brave. And I don't know why the school didn't do something about the bees on the playground. Not gonna lie.
So we watched The Beekeeper this week. Came out earlier this year, I think in like February. It's about this guy who's like a highly operative secret agent in United Kingdom, and he retired and he went to America and worked as a beekeeper for this lady. Just an old lady. She's a really nice lady, and she like kind of takes care of him. They never really show how she takes care of him in any way, which is a problem that I had. And she gets scammed, and these scammers steal all her money. Which beware of scammers, people. And then she kills herself because all of her money is gone. And she has a daughter who is an FBI agent. I don't know why she didn't call her about the money thing. She would have been able to solve that. But the beekeeper came to give the lady some honey that he made, and he saw that she's dead, and he went to go find all the people that scammed her, and then the entire company, and then eventually the head of the company kills literally everyone to get revenge.
And he's able to do this because he was part of the beekeeper group, right?
Yeah.
Like, super
The special
secret.
ops group in the United Kingdom was called the Beekeepers, and they protected the hive. They never said what the hive was, so I was very confused on what the hive was.
The country.
But the lady, wasn't part of the country, so what do you mean protecting the hive?
Well, he since he's retired, he just considers the people he's close to protecting the hive, I believe.
Do you want to know my major problem with this movie?
Yeah.
It's just a ripoff of John Wick. Have you seen John Wick?
Never seen John Wick.
Okay, let me give you a quick synopsis of John Wick. He's a special ops agent in America. And he has a beautiful wife, right? A woman that he loves very much. And she takes care of him. Oh, what a coincidence. And she passes away naturally. I think from a disease, maybe. And he's really sad, and so he retires his special ops job. Oh, wow. What a coincidence. And he is living, just chilling, and he's really sad. And he one day goes and adopts a puppy because he's like, ah, oh, happiness, a puppy, you know. And I
Right.
forget what provokes this, but these like thugs come, break into his
Did they
house,
kill his puppy?
and kill his puppy.
Oh my god, they kill his puppy.
It's. I remember watching that for the first time, and I was like, oh my god, they literally violently kill his puppy, and then you see the dead puppy, and you're just like, what the fuck? And he goes on a rampage and kills those guys, and then everyone attached to those guys, the CEO of the company, everything. So it's literally an entire reskin of John Wick 1. There
You
are
are
4
correct.
John Wick movies. I've never
We
seen
should watch them.
any more. No, we should not. We should not. I've seen the first one only, and
That's enough.
It's literally carbon copy of this.
Okay,
Even with the cinematography, even with
my story
everything.
watching this movie, I pull up my Fire Stick app, right?
You can't
And I search
say
this
that.
movie,
You can't say
bleep it out.
the pirate.
And there are 35 streams available. I've never seen that many streams. 35.
Well,
and
it
I'm
is
like,
a new movie.
surely any of these will work, because I've never seen that many before. Like, holy shit, 35? And I get through 30 minutes on one of them, and then it stops working, and then none of the other 35 work. And then my other
Don't say pirate. Say Ahoy.
website,
Ahoy
my
website.
other Ahoy website didn't have it, so then I needed your assistance, and then I was fine. I knew nothing about this movie going in. I've heard of it, but that's about it. And I was like, I didn't know Josh Hutcherson was in it. I was like, Josh is in this, right?
I did. I forgot.
And that was
until
was
I
funny.
watched it.
That was really funny. So I see his character the first time, and I'm like, wow, his range. He went from playing this poor dad in FNAF to this rich jerk, right? Like,
Dad.
wow. He was a dad figure. He was an older brother. I was just, dad vibes. And then his character just swears a lot. And I'm like, him swearing does not work. He is just too baby. Like, I could not take him seriously. Like, he's like, I'm gonna go big dog this shit. And I'm like, bro, you are tiny. You are pocket sized.
You are
he just
5'7". You can't say these things.
he's like, I'm gonna fuck this shit up. Fuck you. Fucking fuck. And I'm like, you can't say fuck this many times. You are too small. You go into the pocket of my pants. Like,
You can
what?
fit in my front shirt pocket.
And then he just has his little universe bowls and his neck beard, and he's just such a silly character.
Dude, I fucking loved his character. Like, his character was perfect. I don't know who designed him, but it was perfect.
I couldn't tell if,
Best
like,
character.
they wanted his character to be like that, and therefore he was perfect for the role, or if he wasn't perfect for the role they were going for, but it was just so funny that it was perfect anyway. Like, I don't know if it was intentional.
Perfect. I think it was perfect, and they chose him because he could pull it off so fucking well. He's perfect for
I
that
loved
role.
it. It was so funny, but I loved it.
The one thing
All
I
right.
did, like, the only thing that I liked about this movie was the writing. The writing was amazing, and I loved all of the jokes. Actually, I didn't like how many times I said Beekeeper. I actually found the script, and I put it in, like,
Control F.
Yeah, I controlled F and typed in Beekeeper, and they only said it, like, 55 times. And I was expecting, like, 80? But, like, still 55
How many times do they
is a
say
lot.
B?
Bee? Probably not much more. But, like, they said Beekeeper probably 30 times in, like, maybe 30 minutes. Like, that is a lot. Like, every sentence I just heard Beekeeper. Oh, the Beekeeper. He's the
All right.
Beekeeper. Oh, the Beekeeper.
I thought a lot of this movie was creative. So, like, a lot of the violent parts of it were very creative, and that reminded me, did you ever watch that Santa Claus movie with David Harbour?
Yeah. What's it called?
And,
Silent Night?
Violent Night.
Violent Night. Right.
And what I love about that movie is how creative the gore is. Like, just the violence, creative, you know? And that was something in this movie that I liked with like throwing that guy off the bridge with the car. Creative violence
He
is
was
fun.
so casual about it. He was just like...
That was terrifying. Like, that is a morbid way to die.
I love how he just, like, the guy talking on the phone just kind of, like, went with it. He was like, oh, he's putting me against my car. He's strapping me to my car. He's walking to his car. He's turning on his engine.
He's just letting it happen.
Oh my god, he's setting me off the bridge.
I didn't realize he was connected to the truck. Like, I was confused. I was confused a lot during this movie. I just didn't know what was going to happen next because I didn't realize something that had happened before. Anyway, I loved the beginning of this movie with the woman on the phone. That was really fun to watch. And I loved the end of the movie. Like, the last 30 minutes, that was really fun to watch.
The
middle was kind of slow for me.
The first scammer guy, like the big guy, kind of looks like Foolish. Does he not?
I was going to say he looked like Foolish and he looks like MatPat. Those are my two thoughts.
Yeah.
My roommate,
like,
who watched a tiny bit of it with me, just saw him on screen and went, that looks like MatPat if he was Italian. The entire time, I was like, this man looks so familiar. He looks like Foolish and MatPat
like
had
Foolish.
an Italian baby.
Yeah, exactly that.
Someone else who was familiar to me was the daughter, the FBI woman. She looks super familiar to me, and I had to look up where she was from. I know her from the show Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
I was like, I know this woman. I couldn't put my finger on it. I was like, is she, like, in The Flash? Is she, like, Iris in The Flash? I couldn't get it. She's Umbrella Academy. And also, she is in Hamilton. She is a background dancer in Hamilton. And from our research, I believe she's a background dancer and part of the chorus in Hamilton. I believe she plays the death character. You know, there's a dancer in Hamilton who, like, symbolizes death. I think that's her. I love Hamilton. And then, after the original cast retired, she went on to play two of the female leads in Hamilton. So, she's cool. And she's married to Daveed Diggs.
I don't know what did you just say?
This woman is married to Daveed Diggs. He plays the teacher in Wonder. He raps, he plays Thomas Jefferson and Lafayette in Hamilton.
Yeah, I have no idea.
You don't know who Daveed Diggs is. Okay, she's married to him, so good for her. Everyone loves Daveed Diggs. He's a great guy. Anyway. That meant nothing to you. Yeah, Daveed Diggs. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
I felt so bad for the woman in the beginning. She was just this really sweet, like, retired teacher who ran a nonprofit for children. And I loved watching the scam call because the guy was so charismatic and the cuts when he would, like, mute himself, hilarious. And the foolish guy. Yeah.
I was hoping that he would, like, accidentally forget to unmute himself, and then the old lady
Me too!
would be like,
Me
what
too!
Did you say? What is happening? And he'd be like, that's just,
the sports game.
My manager's watching the sports game right now. You know, he's a little distracted. Wait, they made
I
this
agree
into a
with
show?
you. I don't know why.
I need to watch
I don't know why she didn't call her daughter for help.
I'm like, she has banking problems, and it's a kind of, she's kind of dumb, because she was like, it's an email. But also, she, like, was having second thoughts. But she was too nice of a person to, like, not get this guy
And that's just how those scams work.
Like,
They specifically target older people who don't know any better with how that stuff works.
The thing I don't like is that the scam center looked like a fucking club. Scam centers don't look
It looked
like
a place where some gaming bros hang out.
Yeah, it literally looked like a nightclub, or it low-key with all the purple
I
light.
didn't realize that scamming centers were a place. I just kind of thought these scams were sent by, like, one dude doing it by himself, and I didn't realize they were, like, businesses.
They could be, but there are entire scamming centers.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That was cool.
There's this Twitch streamer who calls scammers, who, like, finds their numbers and calls them, and then trolls them, and then, like, fucks up their system. And it's
good
hilarious.
For them. Good job.
And he also plays, like, different characters. Like, he'll have, like, a voice modulator and sound like an old lady. And he'll just pretend he's
Good.
so stupid. Oh my god, I remember I watched this one stream where this guy was trying to scam him into like giving him like $100 like gift card numbers, and he was doing this with another person, and he was one of them was playing an old woman, one was playing an old man, and they were like they were pretending to be in a car in a parking lot. They weren't actually in the car in the parking lot. They was just like he added sound effects and shit, and he was like, "Yeah, I just got the gift cards," and the guy was like, "Yeah, okay, so you got to scratch the the little gray thing on the back to give me the numbers." And she was like, "Okay, I don't have a coin. I got a shovel in the trunk. I'll use that to shave off the numbers." He's like, "A shovel?" And then you just hear a bunch of fucking clanking sounds. And he's just
That's
like,
so
"What is
funny.
going on?" And then she like the guy like scraped off the numbers off a card. He didn't actually have cards. He just had pictures of like damaged cards. And he was like, no, you can't, like, scratch the whole number off the card. You have to, like, scratch just the foil off and then give me the number. And she's like, oh, well, I just destroyed all the... Oh, my husband's having a heart attack. Oh, my God. He's on the floor. I gotta go to the hospital. It was so fucking funny, dude.
That's so funny. A complete waste of time. Good for them.
I love him so much.
Why?
It's so funny.
I feel like someone kills themselves in all the movies we watched recently. I know it's just Swing Kids in this one, I think, but I was just like, man, another suicide movie.
Really? How many suicide movies have we
I can't
watched?
believe she killed herself. Like, didn't she get notifications about fraud from her bank? Like, couldn't she have contacted her bank about the fraud?
Yeah, she
'Cause
could
it
contact
detected it?
her. I don't understand why she killed herself. She could have contacted her bank. She could have contacted her FBI daughter. She could have asked her beekeeper.
This feels
being
like a plot
hey,
hole.
all my money is gone. What happened? And he would have gone full special ops mode and been like, "I'll solve it for you." And she would have been a happy ending. Happy ending.
Like,
would've been
it felt
fine.
unnecessary for her to kill herself.
It really was. But I guess they need. Also, the daughter working on her own mother's case. That is,
Conflict of
like,
interest.
against the law. That's literally against police law.
It was
work on
the
your own
biggest
case.
conflict of interest ever, and yet somehow she was the only character who didn't let it be a conflict of interest. Like, everyone else was like, just let him do it. He killed your mom. And she's like, no, this isn't right. Like, I have a job to do.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
she
like,
somehow
what do you mean?
didn't
You
let
should be
it
the one who
conflict
should
her
be
interests.
killing him yourself. Like, he killed your mom. He made your mom kill herself. Why are you not angry? Like, are you too drunk to realize this? Like, I don't understand. Also, she, like, didn't
No,
really act drunk.
I respect her for that. Like, she didn't let it cloud her judgment, and I respect that.
But that's not realistic.
It's not super realistic, but it's a very respectful character trait to have.
It is, but it's, like, not realistic, especially for this type of movie. Like, she should have gone fucking rogue alongside this dude. But use
Oh
the
yeah,
FBI
I
as an
expected them to
advantage.
team up. They didn't team up. I was like, dude, what? This guy was so interesting. At the beginning of the movie, he was just like a little bee boy. Like, he's like, hive more important than sleep. And I was like, oh, the little bee guy. Like, he's just like, is he like autistic for bees?
He's... all I know is he's definitely beekeeping age.
And at the beginning of the movie, I was like, yeah, I support this violence. But then he just kept going, and I was like, okay, this is a little much. This is a bit much.
He didn't really... Okay, for a beekeeper, he didn't have many hives. He had, like, 6. I was expecting to have, like, a whole acre of, like,
I thought it was funny
beehives.
that these people in this force called the Beekeepers actually keep bees. I think that's hilarious. Like, they could have just, like, been like, yeah, it's a metaphor, like we protect the country and the people are scared of us and we go out and we extract information, and, like, it was a really great bee metaphor, but then they just actually have beehives and they actually have books about facts about bees, it was so unnecessarily funny.
Yeah, I think that was weird. I think it would be cool if the team would be called the Beekeepers. And then he just, like, when he retired, he was like, maybe I'll, like, take up beekeeping. And then he just, like, ended up really
Like,
liking that.
is he literally required to be a beekeeper? Like, everyone there was a beekeeper. It was so
I feel like
weird.
part of their intense training, they have to, like, study how beehives
Bees.
work.
They
And they
have to
like,
study bees.
yeah. Like, have you ever seen, like, special ops movies where they go through the intense-ass training? There's, like, this
Yeah.
movie that I think Dylan O'Brien is in. That's, like, it shows you what they go through.
Like, the bee metaphor was really cool and on point. Like, the bees take care of our country, but everyone is scared of them, and they're extracting information. Like, it was a great metaphor. And I think it's crazy that they let this group entirely act on their own judgment. Like, they have these highly trained individuals, and they're like, yeah, you can just do whatever you want. That's crazy to me as a concept. And then, how do you even get into this program? Like, how do you get into this?
You should watch American Assassin. That's a good special ops movie. That shows you the intense training of a special ops officer.
Cause like these like hardcore Navy SEAL like special teams dudes, even they were like they called them pussies compared to the beekeepers. How do you get into the fucking beekeepers?
Well,
And then the fact that you don't have any trace of your name anywhere, like that means like even growing up as a child, your family would have had to take you nowhere ever.
no, so you should watch American Assassin essentially explains how you become a special ops officer. They definitely are post-military before they become a beekeeper. And they're usually just like top of their class Navy SEAL-esque people who are fucking hardcore. And then like their officer, like their highest officer sees that and is like, "Hey man, I got a special task for you." And then they bring him to go train the beekeeper.
That's cool.
I wish they explained what. I might have missed this, but I wish
They said
explained-
beekeeper so many times and yet never explained anything.
Yeah, I wish they explained what the beekeepers were and what they did.
They explained it a
didn't?
little bit, but I wish they had a more in-depth explanation.
Yeah. Also, the other girl who was a beekeeper, who was like, "You're my replacement," she fucking looked crazy. She looked like
I
walked
was
in
like, oh,
Gotham.
they got diversity. They let women be the beekeepers. I was like, yeah, good for them.
I wasn't
It's
surprised
not
that
just
she
like
was
a manly
woman.
man thing.
I did look up the director, and he did direct Suicide Squad from 2016, like the original.
She
Suicide
had
movie.
Suicide Squad vibes.
I was like,
not gonna
she's
lie.
literally, she belongs in Gotham. Like, what do you? She was like purple hair, and she looks like
She looks like a DC character
she does.
for
I'm
real.
like, what is this? Like, why? does
Or
look
she
like
also
this?
reminds me of those, you know, in season 2 of Stranger Things when they find
Yeah,
the other
yeah,
people.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
also what she reminds me of.
Yeah, I think that, like, I don't know why they made her so flashy for a secret special ops agent who shouldn't be seen or heard.
Wait, why did she have so many like big loud guns?
Yeah, that was weird.
The only part of the movie that super bothered me was that scene at the gas station when he just like blows it up while there's a bunch of civilians still there, even though literally like 5 minutes later he goes, I don't want to harm anyone who isn't directly involved. Like, he, not even 5 minutes later, he says that. I don't want to injure anyone who's innocent or not involved. And I'm like, dude, why did you blow up the gas station with innocent people still sitting there? I think it was just for the movie to look cool. Like, I think they just wanted a cool shot of him driving away with the gas station blowing up behind him. Genuinely. But it bothered me because it was out of his character for him.
Well, doesn't he, like, every time he goes to a place, he's like, if you don't want to die, leave right now.
But he didn't do it here. You see him, there's that guy on the ground, like an innocent civilian, and he's like, I need your car keys. And the guy gives him his car keys, and then he drives away and the place blows up. Like, he just left that guy there.
Interesting. I kind of blurred over the gas station scene because I was doing homework while I was watching this. But why did... Okay, I might have missed this, but why did he kill his replacement?
Because she was attacking him, and it seems like he kills anyone who tries to hurt him. Like, anyone who tries to stop him.
It seemed like he, like...
And her assignment was to kill him. So, like, he had to kill her so she wouldn't kill him.
Oh, they assigned another beekeeper to kill him? That's...
Yes.
Okay, I was like, that's where I was confused. I was like, why are they trying to kill each other? I'm very confused.
You see at the Beekeeper call center, they got a little thing that was like, your new task is to kill Adam Clay, or whatever his name is.
Adam
and
Clay.
That was,
That's
you know, that, like,
basic
financial
ass
guy
name.
who, like, worked for Josh Hutcherson?
Yeah.
He was the one who, like, sent that to try and stop him. It was, like, him trying to get rid of the problem. It was, like, him contacting the beekeepers. And this shows, his character, I think, kind of shows that he won't hurt anyone who doesn't get in his way. Because that guy, I don't remember what his name was, but he just calmly talked to the bee man. And the bee man didn't, like, try and kill him. He just kind of broke his wrist. And I was like, that's cool, because he wasn't trying to hurt him. He was just talking to him, so he didn't hurt him back.
Which guy?
The financial old man. The CIA man.
Oh, his dad. His friend. His mom's friend.
His mom's like, secret lover. His dad was dead. They've established his dad was dead.
His mom's ex-lover.
His mom's secret ex-lover or something.
It's not a secret. Definitely not a secret. Everyone knows.
Was really confused when they revealed that he was literally the president's son, because how on earth does the son of the president get, like, you could do whatever you want when your parents are the president. Why would you commit your life to scamming people?
Like, he's a dick.
Why did you just become a mob boss when you could have done anything?
Well, it's not scamming. It's like cryptocurrency covered up as, like,
but he does run the company that scams those old people.
Yeah. He's just a dick.
And I respected the president for being, like, planning on coming out with the truth, even though that would have, like, ruined her reputation. I was surprised.
I thought when they, like, first revealed it, I thought she knew that her campaign money came from scamming, but then it was like a very quick line that, like, she didn't know that her money came from scamming.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I like her. At first I was like, I hate you because you scammed your way into being president. Wow, okay. But then she, like, didn't know and was like, why, what the fuck? And I like her.
And I realized at some point that maybe this is kind of realistic. Because at first I was like, this isn't realistic for this to be the son of the president. But then I was, like, thinking about how much the news talks about what the sons of Trump are doing or what the sons of Biden are doing. And I was like, oh, maybe it's realistic.
Yeah. They're just...
I wrote it in my notes as Trump and Biden's sons. And I was like, oh, that sounds like they're gay for each other.
They could be.
I literally, like, started typing in all caps, like, when I found out the mom was the president. Because I'm just, like, going, like, who is his mom that she could become a human shield? She has to be, like, the president or something. And then I went, oh my god, she is the president. Why is he doing this with his life? How is this happening?
Yeah. Oh my god, okay. Remember when... Okay, so when the Beekeeper launched that dude off the bridge with his car...
Yeah.
Did you... I noticed this. I also, like, predicted this. Because I was like, okay, they're not actually going to launch someone off a bridge with a car. Did you notice that the body was literally, like, a plastic mannequin?
It was limp, right?
No, it was a stiff plastic mannequin.
I thought it looked weird. I thought it looked, like, too not mobile.
It was clearly a body doll. Like, it was clearly fake. It was stiff as fuck. It was hilarious. They didn't even try to hide it. They were just like, yes, we'll use that.
That's funny. This movie is so interesting.
They really put all their money into post-production with the sound. Also, okay, the sound... I'm currently taking a Foley class, and the Foley in this sounds so artificial. I feel like it sounds like they just... It sounds like they just placed all the sounds on top of the movie instead of, like, implementing them into the movie. Like, they're just layered on top. And I'm like, it just sounds like... Ew.
That's weird.
Also, the movie...
Going off... You
Go
go.
ahead. No. I'm done.
Okay, I'll go. The other creative deaths I liked how he rigged the explosive to the phones in his first kill at the call center. And
Oh my god, wait. Also,
okay, you go.
He poured... attaching to that. He poured out one of the gas canisters, and then when he was walking to, like, attach the bomb to them, both of them were full. Like, the folly they did... And the way he carried them, both of them were full, even though one of them he completely dumped out onto all the desks.
God damn it, this movie's full of holes.
That's wrong.
And I loved when the elevator scene, when he killed the people in the elevator and that one guy just got chopped in half.
Oh, that was
crazy. And I didn't understand how the other people fell with the elevator. I know they got caught on the string he set up, but I didn't understand it. And I also didn't understand how he got out of the way when the elevator fell. I didn't understand where he was standing.
Yeah, I didn't know that, because they did those shots where, like, they were shooting up, and then they showed the ceiling of them shooting up, and then they showed him just standing in the middle of the elevator.
No, they showed him, like, off to the side of the elevator, standing on the edge, but then when the elevator fell, where would he have been standing? No comprendo. No comprendo. And then I think this is when my movie started cutting out my first time. So I didn't understand who burned down the barn and why did the barn burn down?
He burned down the barn because those, like, 4 guys came and attacked him.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
When those guys came and followed him to, like, his property, I really, really wanted the bees to attack him, because it just cut to him, because he just goes and burns down this whole call center, and then he goes back to his bees, and I'm like, that's so silly, he's just going back to his bees after all that. And then the guys followed him, and I thought it would have been hilarious if they utilized the bees, and the bees attacked him.
They never used the bees in the Beekeeper movie. When they shot...
He used the honey as a weapon, which was cool.
Yeah, when they shot the beehives, the bees, like, swarmed together, like, clearly angry. They added angry bee sounds, and I was like, okay, they're gonna swarm at the car and sting everyone. No, they cut to the barn. I was like, what? You clearly showed an angry bee mob. There was definitely a cut where, like, there was definitely a previous cut of this film where they had the bees attack them, but they just got rid of it for some reason. Like, no, like, it was... You use the bees in the movie that's called The Beekeeper. Use the bees.
Right? I agree completely.
Also,
I liked how when
I wish you would have implemented, like, more bee-related things. Like, what do bees do to attack? Like, how do they attack, like, enemies?
Like a superhero. Like, that's some Marvel shit. Like, using
like some Ant-Man.
the animal... skills in the attack. Spider-Man, Ant-Man type of thing.
Yeah.
They should have Spider-Man the shit. I wrote down that he was, like, a real-life superhero. Like, he is the most unstoppable man in the world. And then I was kind of wondering, who do you think that is in real life? Like, there's just some guy that we don't know. There's this guy, and we don't know who he is. He just exists really secretly, and he's just completely unstoppable. And that is crazy to me.
Yeah, you should watch American Assassin.
I should watch American Assassin.
You should watch American Assassin because it literally... Like, there are special op teams in the world that do special op missions like this. But
how did he do all of this in a suit? Like, the climax of the movie, he did all of that in a suit. How did bro do that? He killed his way to the top of the fucking country.
Okay, also, I had a problem that he would do things just out in the open. Like, he was, like, cutting through a gate out in the open, just, like, on the side of the property, like, oh, let me just fucking laser this open. While everyone's, like, guarding up the perimeter, like, oh, everyone keep eyes on the he's just opening the fence, off on the side.
Right?
Just, like, I'm like, what do you... You're not supposed to be seen or heard or anything.
There were some holes in this movie for sure. Him cutting off that, Matt Pat looking guy's fingers was really gory, and it was so interesting. And then he cut off the finger of the the replacement girl, and I was like, oh, this is just his mark now. He's just created a brand for himself where he cuts off people's fingers. But then he used the finger to break into the place. I was like, oh, there's a purpose for it. That was just a weird coincidence then. And then I was like, how was he able to break into the facility so easily? Why was no one there?
Which facility?
He took the girl's finger, the beekeeper's finger, and, like, broke into the beekeeper facility with her finger. Why was no one else there? Like, this really high-tech military secret ops thing and no one's there?
No idea.
You just break in with a finger? Come on.
No idea. I don't know. Okay, the character, the Beekeeper, looks like if John Wick and the Allstate guy, you know the Allstate guy? Look him up.
Yeah. I think I know.
If John Wick and the Allstate guy had a kid, this is what their kid would be.
He reminded me of that new show that's popular with the boomers, Reaper.
Reaper?
You ever heard of that show, Reaper? It's very similar to this, where this guy's like this ex-military secret ops guy, like the buffest man you've ever seen, like 6'7", crazy buff, and he just. I've only seen the first couple episodes. I've seen some other episodes my parents have watched, and
What is this show called?
Reaper, Reaper. It's on Prime, I think, and he just gets involved in season 1. He's accidentally involved in this murder thing, and he has to, like, help solve it. And in season 2, he is, like, solving this thing, and he just...
This does not exist.
What the fuck, man? Reaper show. No, my
so
bad,
the
it's
show
called
from
Reacher. It's called Reacher.
Yeah.
My
that
bad.
makes more sense.
It's called Reacher. That's his last name. I thought it was called Reaper, not gonna lie.
Ew.
And
Reacher's
the
back.
actor who plays him, the actor who plays him is actually, like, really chill, and it makes the Republicans mad because this is, like, a really Republican show, but the actor is super left-wing, and they're mad that they're, like, buff white boy
like a lot of
likes trans people.
like a lot
They're
of
mad they're buff
big
white
boy
military man likes trans people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Jason Momoa and what's that other guy? Dave Bautista and what's that other guy?
I love
John
Dave
Cena?
Bautista.
We don't like The Rock anymore. The Rock's an asshole. But everyone, all the they used to be wrestlers, but now turning to acting, the best people ever. Except The Rock. We don't like The Rock anymore.
But yeah, that's who the character reminded me of here, especially because both of them are very, like, invincible kind of characters in a way that's so interesting. Because these guys don't have, like, a gym membership or even a gym, but, like, both of these characters. It's like, how are they still so strong? What are they doing to work out?
They definitely discipline themselves into, like,
I know,
working out.
but, like, I just want to know, like, what they work out with. Like, what are they lifting? Like, trees?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. He probably does, like, farm work as well, because he has that barn. He has all those power tools. He had all those power tools. What was he building? Like, what?
Right?
They never showed him building anything.
Is this movie based on a book? Because that Reacher show is based on a book, and this movie just had the vibes of being based on a book.
I mean, it's based on John Wick.
That's true. This movie just didn't feel organic. It just felt very aggressively based on something. I think I got that idea when they just specifically said the name of Josh's character. They were like, yeah, I'm 28 years old. And I was like, that's just so specific. This feels like a book. I don't know why.
I don't think it's based on a book.
I think
it's based on John Wick. It's a John Wick ripoff. The Beekeeper. The Beekeeper are reminiscence of tales of escapees on the Underground Railroad of the mid-1800s or during the Holocaust. Oh!
That doesn't sound right.
Are they...
This is a different book.
It's not a book.
Okay, it felt booky. I liked how complex this movie is, and I liked the way they shot some scenes with the colors. The colors were very yellow and blue, and I liked that. It was pretty to look at.
I it was very Christopher Nolan style shot, and I didn't like that. Like, I feel like they
Damn.
could have made this Beekeeper movie so much better in a different style. Like, the writing was great. I just feel like if they shot it in a different style, if they used a different director, it would have been better.
A better movie. I just wish they didn't have so many holes. I also, another part I didn't like that felt weirdly out of character was when he went to the city to that different call center and they like tracked him there, right? And the daughter comes in and he's like, "This is the caller who killed your mom." No, it wasn't. That wasn't the caller that killed your mom. And she goes, "I believe you. He was lying to you. He was just lying to you so you would let him kill him." Like, that was
Also,
horrible.
Also, when he just walked into the circle of the military men, I'm like, why did you let
That was
this
hilarious.
not,
No,
this, like,
that cracked me
civilian
up.
man just walk into your military
He just
circle?
walked right up to them and
Your-
started talking to
your-
them, and I was like, they're
your
all gonna
tactic
fucking
plan.
die.
No, but like,
And then
he
they
just, like,
left right when he somehow got into the like room upstairs, right when they were leaving.
No, but like he just like shuffled. He just like shuffled in. He like scooted
Right?
past like 3 people and is like, "Yeah, actually, I'm gonna be right here." And he like points at the fucking map. I'm actually.
I
Gonna go in
loved all
this
the call
way.
center owners. Their characters were all so fun.
They
The
were,
Matt Pack
and I
guy
hated
and
all
the
of
and the
them,
Boston
which
mob
was the
boss kind of
point.
guy. I thought they were so fun. They were like my favorite characters. I liked when they were on the screen.
I hated them. Okay, the music made this a Christopher Nolan movie, but there was one fight scene in the White House where he's fighting that like cyborg cartoon character who also looked like a fucking DC villain from Suicide Squad. He looked
Yeah.
like fucking
Are you talking about the guy in the yellow jacket?
yeah. He looked like a.
I loved him, and I
doped
was
up
so sad
Wolverine.
watching him get slowly killed because I loved that character.
He looked like a doped up.
It made me so
Wolverine.
sad.
And there was
Yeah.
a fight scene between him and the Beekeeper in like a hallway, and there was no music, and it was just fighting. And that was my
When
favorite
he was-
scene because there was no music, and it was just it felt real.
That was really
Like,
cool.
like,
I
yes,
agree.
This is an
I
action
agree.
Scene like I love it. There's no music. It's not. It doesn't feel fake. It feels like good. I like this. We're tearing apart.
I loved that character, and when he was going to the president's place, like for the climax of the movie, with all those guards there, and he had to sneak in, I was like, man, if he just waited a month for them to think this all blew over and let their guard down, it would be so much easier for him to do what he wants to do.
Yeah, but he's angry.
Did you hear that part, like 3/4 of the way through the movie, where they were like, "Yesterday, this woman died," and I was like, "It's only been a day. Hold up, all this happened
Wait, this didn't
in
happen
the span
in like
of
5
a day.
days?
All that in one fucking day. I
I
lost my
thought
mind."
it was like 5 days.
No, when he's like with the Boston guy, he shows the picture of the woman, and he's like, "This woman killed herself yesterday," and I was like, "Yesterday?
Yesterday.
What? What?"
He works fast.
He moves
What the fuck
fast.
can you say? Everyone moves fast. Like, how did they get people everywhere they needed to be so fast?
Also, he likes torturing people, and it would have been such psychological torture if he waited a month for it to blow over. It would have been torturous to them.
Yeah.
And another one of those, like, creative gore I liked was him just beating the man with a stapler. That was so funny. It was
Yeah.
so funny. And why did the people protecting the president, why were they wearing face masks? That made it so easy for him to break in. Why would you do that when the only thing you can recognize this man by is his face? Why the fuck
He had a very
would they wear
generic
face masks?
He's a very generic person. He looked like an NPC.
And why was there another guy who was just identical to him at the party?
Yeah, that-
Like, that I had to rewind because I was like, was that not him? It looked just like him.
Yeah, why did they allow him into the building, into the premises, into the party, if he looked exactly like the other
Why
guy?
was there a party? Why was there a party?
I think it was like
when this is happening.
it was like a campaign thing, and they didn't want like the world to know that there was someone to come and kill her, so they just
I
kept
can't
it
believe
going for some reason.
The president's son was once as a baby as Peter Malark, and then like he looked so baby, and then he became a crypto bro, mafia leader.
I loved his character.
He was just
so
selling
much.
crypto at the party.
Yeah. want to buy some crypto, you know.
I love the guy in the yellow jacket with his Scottish accent, and the way he said, was it Scottish? What was his accent?
I feel like it was Australian. He was like a doped up
He just
Wolverine,
said,
you know?
yeah, the way he said breathing, he said it like, breathing, and it was so fun the way he rolled the R. I loved that specifically.
Yeah.
I also love how the Beekeeper never harmed the two FBI agents, like the daughter and the daughter's friend. The daughter's friend was so funny. The man,
Yeah.
FBI man, he was funny, and I like that he never attacked them, even though they were also pursuing him, because he knew that they were, like, doing their job, and were on his side, kind of.
He had no reason to attack them.
But they were attacking him, and like, with guns and shit, and he attacked everyone else who attacked him, so I like that he spared them.
Well, I think it's that they... Well, obviously he wouldn't attack the daughter, but I think he also sees that guy as the caretaker
Innocent.
of the
Yeah.
woman, and is like, you remind me of her. I'm not gonna kill
Yeah,
you.
I agree. I had a thought when Josh's character, I like that we're just calling him Josh. What was his name? Derek?
No idea. He's Josh.
When he was, like, getting interrogated by his mom and the other guy, him shooting the other guy was crazy, but...
That was crazy. I was like, why the fuck did you do that?
He just kept drinking, and I was like, if you're in an interrogation where you're trying to lie a little bit, why are you drinking
Yeah, why
alcohol?
would you
That's
let
just
him
not gonna
drink?
help. And then he's, like, snorted something, and I just had a thought that it would be so funny if the Beekeeper couldn't kill Josh because he just overdosed.
He like runs into the room already dead. Hey, whoa.
Right?
My job is done here.
I wanted him to make a comment, like, wow, you killed your only, like, security in this room. Like, you did the night work for me.
Yeah. This movie.
And then the
How did we
daughter
talk
was
about this
doing
movie
all
for
of
an
this in
hour?
boots. Why was the daughter doing all of this in boots? That's so not practical. They did a shot of her shoes
practical.
once, and she was wearing, like, heeled boots.
Oh.
Like, not, like, flat boots, the heeled boots.
Fancy. Unrealistic.
I know, I was so mad about it. It was really pretty shot, too. Like, a really nice little aesthetic shoe shot, and it was boots with a heel.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this director rubbed off too much Suicide Squad into this movie.
For real. It wasn't the right style, but it wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good as it could have been. I really enjoyed how complex this movie was, though. I was confused when he was about to kill the president because he glanced out the window and I was like, dude, you just want to go live your little peaceful life as a beekeeper. Like, if you kill the fucking president, like, if you assassinate the president, you will never get to live your peaceful life again. But then he just killed the president's son, which was a really cool shot. And then the mom screaming afterwards was really good acting. And then he just disappeared into the ocean. And I was like, damn, why is the movie over now? Oh my god, the credits are rolling. What the fuck? I want you to see him with his bees again.
That's how, like, every spy movie ends, where they just, like, jump into the ocean on their little boat, or, like, jump off a cliff and have a parachute.
I wanted him to go back to
and
his
then they
bees,
just
go
roll
back
the
to your
credits.
hive. I hated that ending bit.
Yeah, they should have showed him, like, a post-credit scene of, like, him in a cabin, like, with his little bees. Like,
And then this
putting
guy
away
was
some honey.
crazy. Like, he resolved to kill the president of the United States within 24 hours, and then, like, almost did it. Because of that Queenslayer shit. This guy's crazy.
Imagine what people are capable of if he's capable of doing that in one day.
What I liked about this movie was the fire alarms going off in that Boston call center when it was just like, there's a fire. And that was the alarm, which is the voice being like, there's a fire.
There's a
That
fire.
cracked me up because the
Hey.
fire alarm in the building I live in is the loudest sound I've ever heard in my life, especially when you leave your room and go
same.
into the hallway. It's so loud, and our fire system in my building is broken and has been, and the fire alarm goes off like twice a month in the middle of the night, and then it's like you could stay inside, but then it's really fucking loud, and then you just have to go outside at 2 a.m. Oh my god, and it's so loud, and I wish it was the way that this movie's fire alarm was. My last comment was there was a scene around the time of the barn where around the time when he cut off that guy's fingers, when he made a guy, like, bite his gun, and it was really weird. It was just shot so weirdly. I didn't know what was happening.
Oh, his, like, teeth flew out? That was weird. Who's your favorite character?
My favorite character was the guy in the yellow jacket. Like,
Dope
he just
Jack
wanted to
Wolverine.
kill a beekeeper. Yeah, I like the,
Okay.
like, Scottish Wolverine.
Yeah. I like Josh.
I also like Josh. I also liked the two call center owners. They were really fun.
I don't like them. They were...
The beekeeper was cool. The daughter was cool. The daughter's friend was cool. I liked all the characters. Loved the Yellow Jacket guy. Yellow Jacket is such a good contrast to a beekeeper, too. Like, just like the word,
jacket?
Yellow Jacket. Get it? Haha.
The bee's enemy?
Yeah. Isn't that... Do you think that was intentional? Because I think that's genius.
Was he called Yellow Jacket?
No, he just wore a yellow jacket.
Then I don't think that was intentional.
Well, I think it's the smartest thing in the movie, so they better take credit for it.
You made that one, like, assassin guy, like, wear Yellow Jacket, and Yellow Jackets are bees' natural enemies.
And
What
he,
genius do
like,
you have
wanted to
behind
hunt a
that?
beekeeper. And he killed one. He was the only character to kill a beekeeper. And
Oh, yeah.
so him wearing a yellow jacket was so cool to me. And I thought it meant something, but it could have entirely been a coincidence.
I think it was just a coincidence.
Fucking idiots.
With everything else that happens in this movie, I think it was just a coincidence.
Alright, what would you rate this movie?
What's my lowest rating?
I want to give it 3 stars. Like, it was good, but it had some issues. I enjoyed it, but it was whatever.
What the fuck was that at the end?
That was a weird sneeze.
Oh, okay. It just, like, cut off, like, when you, like, hit the peak there.
No, yeah, I
Sounded
cut myself
so
off. I
weird.
just went, like, I just barked. I don't know.
I think I would rate it a 2.6, which is
2.6.
One of the lowest ratings.
Low.
I
Yeah.
had such high hopes for this movie and thought it was going to be something so different. And I'm so disappointed by it. But some of the writing was hilarious, and I loved it.
I'm giving 3 stars because it was good, but it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was so mid.
Yeah, it was very mid.
This is like
American
a peak
Assassin,
3-star
though.
movie.
Everyone go watch American
I
Assassin.
guess I should... Bro, just add it to the list.
I'm actually going to go watch American Assassin after this.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. Literally pulling it up right now. American
Thank you
Assassin.
for watching our Telly Talk, where we talk about what's on the Telly, and
It's
today we
my
talked
turn
about the
to do
Beekeeper.
the outro?
Oh, my bad. I got
You do
excited.
next week.
My bad.
You've done last week's intro. You've done the week before that. You've done this week's. It's my turn. Okay? You're stealing all of everything.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for watching this episode of this week. I hope you enjoyed it.
Okay.
Go follow all our social medias. Goodbye.